One of the other questions I want to address is someone was saying that they have to go to work, and oftentimes they won't be hungry right before they go to work, but they know that, I think it's someone who teaches or something, that there's going to be like a 4-hour block of time where they're not going to be able to eat. So in that case, intuitive eating, it's not so black and white. Let's say you aren't hungry for breakfast. It's almost always a good idea to eat breakfast for a meal. I mean,
all the research says
every diet nutritionist is going to tell you that it kickstarts your metabolism, that if you want to start anywhere, start by eating breakfast. It's a very good idea. So it's not, even if you're not hungry for breakfast, still a good idea to eat breakfast, because we know that it's good for your body. And in the kind of the same way, let's say you're teaching a class for 4 hours. Again, I think I talked about the parking meter last time. Do you remember that?
That's really good. Why don't you?
Because that will answer their question.
Okay.
So let's say you were going shopping and you needed, there's a parking meter. So you needed to put a certain amount of coins in to last all the hours that you were going to be gone. So if you're going to be gone longer, you need more coins to fill the meter. So if you know you're going to be without food for 4 hours, you have to eat even if you're not hungry before. And you may even have to eat a little bit past fullness, because you know that you're going to need fuel to last you quite a while.
So that's not counterintuitive?
It's not counterintuitive, because it's conscious. See, all of this is about your mental state. I am conscious. It's not unconscious. It's not emotional. I'm consciously making the choice that I need a little bit of extra fuel, or I need a heavier meal, because I know that it needs to last me.
Or I could make sure I have some good food in my purse, or that I'm not going to... I know for me, I get low blood sugar crashes, so letting myself go to that place. It's really being intentional about my day. I'm going to plan.
Yep.
Carry a protein shake with you if you need it.
Yeah.
It's caring enough about yourself to anticipate also.
Exactly. And I wanted her to know specifically that would not be being not intuitive. It wouldn't be counterintuitive. That eating, even if you're not hungry because you're going to be going a while, is actually self-care.
That is self-care.
And it's intentional. Again, it's not that just like you're eating and before you know it, you're stuffed, and it's with a lot of it's with intention.
Or perhaps your food choice in the morning, knowing I can't eat for 4 hours, is I make sure I get a good amount of protein.
And carbs and
carbs, and I'm not like just eating a peach or a banana and running out the door.
Exactly. Exactly.
How connected to self-care is this? Wouldn't you say this is self-care?
Yeah.
Intuitive eating is caring about yourself.
Yes. Because unfortunately, not caring about yourself, ironically, there's a chapter in the book, I don't know if you all have gotten there yet, that talks about, ironically, the more we beat our bodies up, the more we beat ourselves up, the more likely you're going to gain weight.
Right.
It's counterintuitive to kind of what our culture tells us, but the reality is the more focused you are on trying to lose weight, on trying to change your body, I think that the book talks about how Americans have never before been more diet obsessed and never before been this overweight.
Right.
And so in the same vein, that like taking care of our bodies, not talking disparagingly about them, not constantly looking in the mirror and telling ourselves what we could change. Like all of those behaviors actually are counterproductive. They don't even work. They actually make us feel worse about our bodies and then take less good care of them.
That's right. Well, like anything, the beliefs that we have in our critical voice, we've talked a lot about this before. Do we need to?
I think we're okay.
Okay. We have that harsh critical voice that says, you're too this, you're not enough that. And when we say that out loud to ourselves, it puts us in a cycle of shame. And shame is so connected.
It's connected to every addiction.
Every addiction. I actually, from a place of shame, will use my addiction to get away from those feelings. But it never works. It works in the moment. This is the thing about addiction. It takes me away from my feelings in the moment. But then after the high is over, the binge is over, the starvation is over, whatever I'm doing to myself, the shopping, the drinking, whatever. When that's over, what I'm left with is more shame.
Yep.
It just compounds the cycle. That's why until we change those tapes inside of ourselves, the messaging we give ourselves, this is what happens. This is why we live in a culture that's addicted to not feeling, to getting an instant fix. And that's why what intuitive eating is actually counterculture.
It is countercultural.
Counterculture. That's why it's not so quick and easy to. Our society is about quick and easy.
Yeah. And also, just so you guys all know that most people probably reading this book for the first time are like, it's so different from probably anything you've heard before. To just be patient with yourself, give yourself time to kind of really let it sink in, and
yes, and process it. That's why we're talking. That's why we're doing. That's why Little Choices Matter exists.
So one of the other questions I wanted to address is somebody asked a question about vegetables. So if I'm eating whatever I want, then like what if I don't ever want vegetables? And I thought that's a really good question. A lot of people have. And I would refer you, honestly, the best way to answer that question is there's a chapter in the book called Gentle Nutrition. And I feel like that she'll answer that question. And, look, nutrition is important. And, there's a lot of research that fruits and vegetables she talks about is really helpful in preventing cancer. Like, they're a very important part of our diet. However, sometimes when people have overdone it and they have maybe been on diets where, like, it's mostly vegetables and they're deprived of other foods, just in my personal experience with clients, there may be a season while they're healing that, like, that's the last thing they want is vegetables. So sometimes I've seen clients where for a time they've overdone it so badly that they need to give themselves maybe a little break from having to eat things that are healthy or all the things that they told themselves that they could have while they were on their diet. Some people don't go through that at all. It's fine. But she addresses all of that. So again, in that chapter, the name of the chapter says it all. It's gentle nutrition. It's not shaming yourself into eating something. It's not eating something, even broccoli or spinach, all these things that are really good for you because you would be ashamed to eat something else. Or
could you talk about the adjustment time? Like in the book she talks about intuitive eating is really like planning a camping trip.
Yeah.
So there's this period we're in right now, I'm in it, that there is an adjustment. And I think we could even call it be gentle in the adjustment.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I still look at carbs like they're the enemy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I told her last week we had a birthday party and I made pasta salad and I let myself eat it. And she was so proud of me. And I was like, it didn't send me on a binge. I'm just going to eat all the carbs in the world now. But I have to tell you, it was a big adjustment for me to give myself permission to eat pasta. But what I said was, I don't have to overeat it.
Yeah.
That was huge. Sorry, it sounds simple, but not when you've been a carb phobe for since the 70s.
And it didn't send you in for the rest of the day going, well, now I screwed up. No. I might as well have everything.
Because I was being conscious about it.
Yeah.
Instead of unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?